the hip, okay? Anatomy geekdom, but they're not lateral rotators. They're not principally lateral rotators. They are the muscles that down at the bottom of your spine, that's the sacral multifidus, we'll come back to that later. All of these muscles here, yet that last one, that's the one I wanted to get. The piriformis, if you look at how it comes to the front of the sacrum, if you're not a practitioner, this may mean less to you, but this muscle comes from the trochanter to the front of the sacrum. And it's just commonly thought of as a deep lateral rotator. Everybody thinks, oh, the sciatic nerve comes near here. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And I'm urging you, look at the picture to see as if what Jill is holding there was happening on both sides. How much will that stretch? Will it go to both sides?
Yeah, let's make it.
I will put my finger right in there to hold the middle of it.
Okay, osteo.
Yeah, and you put that to the trochanter. This is what the piriformis is really doing. Oh, that's so cool.
Perfect.
Great. And this piriformis, which is a small but powerful muscle, is acting as I would if I were holding a broom up in my hand. I would be making little motions with my hand down here to keep the head of the broom up in the air, right? So this is what the piriformis is doing for the spine. We keep treating it as if it was a hip muscle, as if it has nothing to do with anything but the hip and the sciatic nerve. It really has to do with the strains in the spine, the strains in the sacroiliac joint. Look up to make a permanent cure out of your piriformis things. Okay, thanks. And this is the obturator internus, the one that I'm drawing the arrows on now. This muscle is so underserved, and any of you who are working with the pelvic floor stuff, you really need to understand how huge this muscle is, because it fills in the whole inside of the pelvis. I hope you can see this. Maybe we can come in a little bit, because you can see the pelvis has a hole in the bottom, right? That obturator foramen, the opening, and it's closed off by this obturator, this closing off internus that comes around the back of the pelvis underneath the ligaments and over into the trochanteric fossa like this. So what you're seeing on the screen, on the slide, is the part that fills in the inside of the pelvis. And what you're seeing out with my hand is the little bit that you can twang back here with the ball, but it's a challenge of ball work to get up. And this is one of the discussions that we have off camera, is to get a ball up in here beside the pelvic floor to affect this. I can get there with my fingers. Other people can get there with exercises or particular stretches, but we're always challenging each other of what can you do only with hands and what can you do with the ball. And she comes up with something with the ball that I thought I could only do with my hands. And so life goes. Okay. So if we turn around to the front grip just for a couple of minutes, because we'll be coming back to it later, this is the part that I wanted you to see first, is the psoas. And if you've got access to a place where you can sit, it's just for those of you, because I was surprised at how many new people we had today. So given that some are new, sit down, find your ASIS, your sticky outy bit of your pelvis. And yeah, you can do this sitting on a yoga block. That's fine. I'm just doing it on the chair. And if you come in right next to your ASIS and you go straight back towards your pelvis, as far in as you can do that. If you're like me and you have a little extra weight on the front there, soften a little bit, exhale so that you can get back, and then lift your foot, lift one foot and then the other off the ground. Can you feel the psoas under your fingers getting tense? Now, I am a great fan of Liz Koch and her work on the psoas, but I have one disagreement with her, which is I think it's worth touching. So no, I don't like to, I was a rolfer way back in the old days, the open your psoas. But the zombie days are over, and it is such, if you look at it, look at the picture on the left, it is the tongue of the lower it reaches from the lumbars down into the leg, and for you to be able to understand, it's a hip flexor for sure. So as soon as you lift your foot off the ground, you should be able to feel it just off these ASISs in here. But it's a very big muscle in and of itself. Where did I put that thing down? I just wanted you to feel it. Hmm. No, it's the slide changer that I'm looking for, and I've got it here. I'll just put the stool over here, and I'll come right back. I promise. So just as a reference, this slide will tell you that these four muscles, the piriformis in green, the obturator internus that I was going on about in red, and the iliacus and the psoas, or iliacus and psoas in gold there, that you can really understand a lot about sacroiliac joint problems and understand the hip grip. I just really don't want to get into the argument between anterior tilt pelvis and posterior tilt pelvis. One is neutral is a range in the middle, not a single point in the middle. Both of them have troubles out at their extreme ends, extreme posterior tilt or extreme anterior tilt. And what I'm really interested in, and I'm sorry for the emotional load I'm just about to put on this, but this is what I found in my practice, is what is the load of fear in the hips? There's a lot of, if you look at the tension that's stored in the hips, it is deep fear, running away, not being good enough, but that has a running away, element down at the basis of it. And many of those things are held in these hip muscles. And it's not a question of, oh, I need to fix your anterior tilt, or I need to fix your posterior tilt. I need to let the upper body come out of the hip.